Welcome to the Workplace Ninja Connect podcast.
Straight from the community event in the Netherlands. Smart conversations, sharp insights, and stories worth sharing. This is the Workplace Ninja Connect podcast.
So welcome back on the Workplace Ninja Connect event here in the Netherlands. My name is Frans Oudendorp and my co-hosted...
Michel van Vliet.
Michel van Vliet. So welcome back.
Yeah.
So another interesting topic,
Two
topics?
No,
And
more or less.
really interesting people on the table.
We think, yeah.
People from Microsoft. Can you introduce them?
Let's see. Yeah, our guests are two people who spend their days making enterprise IT a little less painful and a lot more effective. They share a passion for turning complex Windows technology in something manageable, whether that's keeping your systems efficiently up to date or bringing AI into Windows without losing control, security, or sleep. One helps keeping Patch Tuesdays from draining your network bandwidth, and the other one is shaping how AI shows up in the future of Windows. We've got Andy Rivas, Principal Product Manager at Microsoft, and the driving force behind the Microsoft Connected Cache, and Ken Goossens, Senior Product Manager, focused on Windows AI and commercial engagement.
Yeah.
Welcome, guys.
Thank you.
Thank you very much.
So really awesome that you are here. Principal Product Manager at Microsoft. What does that mean, Andy?
Well, so in the role that I have, I work with a team of other product managers who help define the strategy, the direction of the product, and then we have a team of developers who then help us to execute on that.
Yeah, and Michel already mentioned connected cache delivery optimization. Is that what you're working on?
That is exactly what I'm working on. I've been in this role since 2018, and I actually started up the chain, if you will. I was working on the packaging engine before, and now I've been working on how the packages actually get to the customers. So it's been really neat to have been in both places now.
Yeah, nice. So let's dive into that topic in a few seconds. Ken?
Yeah.
Senior Product Manager?
What does that mean?
Yeah, but because
Tell us.
you're from Belgium, Andy is from the US, and most of the Microsoft PMs that are working directly onto the products are in the US based. So what does your role mean? Is that CXC? Is that directly into the product team? What is it?
So we're part of the Windows product group for sure. We're not CXC. CXC is under Mike Adams' org, the CAT teams. We are a customer engagement team. I don't think it differs a lot from the CXC organization, honestly. We do talk to customers as well about features that we're building or that we're going to build to capture early feedback in the development process or early in the development process. The CXC teams, they also do adoption, right? Adoption of new features, where we're not going over adoption. We're just collecting the feedback, making sure that we have everything to build a commercial-ready product, and then go to the feature PMs, to the devs, to discuss these requirements.
No. Before we start, we have a fun question.
I'm really curious. And can you pronounce the city that we're currently in?
Groningen.
Well,
So it's almost Dutch.
yeah.
So it's quite good for someone abroad that pronounce Dutch cities. So they are really hard. So it's really fun to hear that, and it's so. Yeah, basically, it's so good that many people can learn from you to pronounce that. So thanks.
I agree, yeah.
Go ahead. I think let's dive into some topics.
Both of you work on technologies that aim to simplify the IT workloads. But what do you see are the biggest pain points IT teams struggle with today, and where the technology that you guys are working on helping them relieve that pain a little bit or a lot?
Who starts?
Well, in your intro of me, one of the main pain points that we hear from the IT admins as they're moving from on-prem management to the cloud is that now I have all this content that I once hosted locally, and now it's coming from the cloud, right? How do I help manage that? so that all of my other network operations are not interrupted. So with delivery optimization and Microsoft Connected Cache, we're really aiming to help customers move from that on-prem management to cloud management while not disrupting their other business functions, which is really important to them.
Yeah, sounds good. Yeah.
If I look at to that, and I will dive a bit more deeper into that, I have two customers we're working actually at the moment on. One is an oil terminal, and the other is based in South of America, Africa, with limited bandwidth locations. Is that specific the use cases that are optimal to use dynamic optimization and connected cache?
Yes. Yeah. So we think of delivery optimization is our distributed content delivery platform, and then Microsoft Connected Cache, which is part of that, is the dedicated. And so I have worked with customers similar types of situations where they have very limited bandwidth locations, and deploying Connected Cache has really helped them because now they can localize content.
Yeah,
They're actually getting the CDN from the cloud to local, right?
Yes,
Basically.
absolutely. Microsoft Connected Cache is that local CDN source. That's how delivery optimization recognizes it.
and your session called "Make Your Network Team Love You," Microsoft Connected Cache. Is that actually the point that you make? Connected Cache is caching stuff locally, so internet is not used that often. That kind of stuff?
Exactly. Yes, exactly. Because the content that is being cached, think of it, it's not services content, it's static content, highly cacheable. The cache achieves a very high cache hit ratio very quickly. So then within their network, they see 99% cache hit ratio. So now think of if I have to provision 100 devices, right? And each one of those, maybe I'm provisioning 5 apps, 3 gigs, right? And if we can localize that content, then it's going to reduce the amount of time to provision those devices. It's also going to ensure that it is successful as well.
And what
We won't have failures from CDN being unreachable for time, for example.
what data does it cache? Because it's
So-
apps, probably. No?
Yeah, so first off, most important because of security, it caches the monthly Windows updates. It caches the Defender. So any of those Defender definition updates that come out, caches those. But then Intune apps caches any of those Intune apps for customers as well.
And it's
Teams
not it's
also
not
catches Teams.
Yeah,
go
and
ahead.
it's not only the store apps and that kind of stuff. It's also Win32.
Anything that Windows ships in box that is published through our Windows Update pipeline is going to get cached by delivery optimization by default. Customer doesn't need to do anything either, because once it's in our pipeline, it's supported by delivery optimization. It's automatically supported by Connected Cache.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have a use case. I have a use case. I talked already with Andy on that. An auto terminal where we implemented Connected Cache with delivery optimization, and we saved. No, what was I saying? I think 15 to 20 minutes per device on updates on apps that don't need to be streamed and of downloaded from the cloud. So we have it locally. So the optimization there is really huge. So if you have a scenario like limited bandwidth or whatnot, implement there or whatever, reach out to the guys that have the knowledge, because it can really help. But we have also some challenges as a Windows admin, because for a Connected Cache we need some Linux stuff.
Yeah, so if you were to join my talk today, I would give you the longer version of this story. But in order to make Connected Cache portable to many applications, we actually rebuilt it back in 2018 as a Linux container. And because of that, to run on Windows, which was the number one piece of feedback that we also received, that we need to be able to run this cache on Windows in branch offices. I don't have any server class hardware anywhere. So we had to find a unique solution to the problem of running on Windows, so we use WSL, which WSL poses some challenges for customers to deploy. It posed some challenges for us to make as challenging as it is currently. It was very challenging for us to make it as easy as it is, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Can you tell us your top 2 or 3 metrics that guys should monitor to know MTC is actually doing its job?
So, as a broader org, we look at the metrics. I'll just talk about for the delivery optimization client itself first, because it's really a whole platform. Yeah. It's delivery optimization and works with connected cache. We look at the peering optimization. So that's one of it. We look across all of our enterprises. What's the percentage of devices that are using peering? We look at the cache hit ratio that we're seeing for those for all of our estate, if you will, of cache nodes. We collect telemetry from every single enterprise cache node globally, and then we can monitor for that.
Yeah.
Sometimes, for example, we get some new endpoints for content that haven't been provisioned in the cache. We can then monitor those failures, and then we can respond appropriately by then updating the caching software with those new endpoints to ensure that service is not disrupted for customers.
Yeah.
Ken,
Yeah.
Your talk was about AI. Do you use connected cache with AI?
Of course, because I use Windows, right?
Yeah.
It's connected cache is I think it's very relevant if you want to, as Andy mentioned, distribute your software in a reasonable time, right? If you want to deploy your devices in a reasonable time, having all the content on-prem is actually an accelerator, right? So yeah, I do work a lot with features AI in Windows. The delivery optimization connected cache is a mechanism to make sure that my device that runs all these AI features is actually secure, it receives the updates in time, receives new applications in time. So yeah, it works not together, but it's definitely a part of Windows. Yeah.
And just to add, any model updates that are delivered for Windows come through the same update pipeline.
Yeah.
So there are AI model updates that come as the monthly LCU, but then there are also other AI updates that come. That comes through DO and through Microsoft Connected Cache.
Is connected cache the feature itself? Is it underrated at the moment? So should it be used more often?
Yes, I would say so. Yeah. Of course. But it's this is actually something I addressed in the talk. Is that in low bandwidth situations, or in situations where peer-to-peer doesn't work. For example, zero trust. Many people or many organizations moving to zero trust.
Yeah.
They can't peer. Therefore, if they want to reduce bandwidth, the only other option is to deploy a cache server so that they can localize that.
Yeah. Nice.
Can you talk about in your talk also about Windows Copilot Plus PCs? Mm-hmm. What is, in your experience, the biggest reason to switch to a Copilot Plus PC for a customer?
Last year, I would have answered you the battery life for sure.
Yeah.
The efficiency, the power. I think now we're like 1 year, 2 years into the Copilot Plus PC experience, and I finally see the AI features landing that really provide value to commercial customers, which was not always the case in the beginning, right? Why? Because Microsoft, we obviously build an operating system not only for commercial but also for consumer, right?
Yeah.
Consumers, they like Paint, all these fancy things in Windows that are maybe not so relevant for commercial customers but super relevant for consumers. So that was the first step. Consumer AI features, battery life for commercial, efficiency for commercial, and I see now finally getting more and more productivity features. Fluid dictation, write assistant, click to do, convert table to Excel, which is a new feature in click to do, which I think they are all productivity enhancers that we see landing now on these Copilot PCs. Yeah. Agent in settings, for example. We don't need to search for a setting anymore. We just type naturally what we want to change, and it brings immediately up the button or the slider. So these are the small things that I believe make Windows users hopefully more happy, because we reduce minimal steps in the processes that it usually take to change settings, for example. Yeah. We eliminate unnecessary steps, so we skip to actions immediately.
Yeah.
I'm using click to do very often. If you have an image, there is text on it. You can extract that and use it. That is really good. The other thing that I was pointed to by my colleague a few weeks ago, that was searching in the Explorer on a certain topic, and every photo. If I search on chicken, every photo where a chicken on is. Was presented.
Even if you have a chicken in a PowerPoint presentation,
I agree.
or in a PDF, it will bring up that chicken.
Definitely. And are there consumer features that are now more capable for business?
I think we improved Windows search. So initially we started with a semantic index because we wanted to fix indexing in Windows. Indexing in Windows was not always the best thing, right? Yep. You needed to use wildcards, you needed to be very specific in the naming. So we developed the semantic index, or the semantic search index, which allows you to search in natural language, and then it goes way deeper into the file. So it searches into PowerPoint, in Word documents, in Excel file, PDFs. Actually, every document within your PC, but also OneDrive, is now being scanned, and we are pretty good actually in giving the right result. I'm super happy with improved Windows search. For me, that's
I was impressed.
One of the best features in Windows right now is the improved Windows search, because you can actually find stuff in Windows.
I have a Copilot Plus PC for I think almost 2 years now, so it was one of the first. The first reason was definitely battery life. When I fly to the US, 10 hours, I can completely do everything on that battery.
Life changing, huh?
Yeah, it was life changing. But in the last few weeks, I'm so impressed by the stuff that you can do locally with searching files, and indexing was a real issue in the past, and I think that I'm quite a bit enthusiastic on it. So don't keep me wrong, but let's see, Windows search improvements. That's based in the sessions where we're already talking a bit of. What are the management challenges regarding that? Because if something is locally on a business PC and you can search it, probably someone puts personal data in there or whatever. Mm-hmm. What kind of challenges do we have?
What kind of challenge do we have? Well, privacy could potentially be a challenge, although I think it's a very reduced risk, because obviously you remain within the enterprise data boundary, right? Yeah. What is on your device is managed by your organization. What is in OneDrive is basically managed by your organization. If you have peer review, label, classification, all these things are managed within your Microsoft ecosystem. So is there a concern? I don't think so. Everybody want to know where his files live, whether they live on the device or in the cloud. And you're not going to search outside of your personal boundary, right? You're going to stay within your OneDrive boundary, within your device boundary. So concern, not really in terms of improved Windows search. Don't think so.
No, that's
Do
good.
you have concerns?
Not really, but I have a question in the list that was prepared for me. and because, I think it can be challenging if it's not a managed workplace, but it is a Copilot Plus PC, so everything is indexed on that PC, and you are storing company data. Then you need purview with labels and so on. So. It depends really on the use case that you have, in my opinion.
Look, the thing is, there has always been an indexation on Windows, right? Even before improved Windows search, everything was indexed as well. The only thing now is that there is an SLM that can contextually understand a little bit more about your files. So in that sense, the indexing is actually an enhanced indexing right now. But the data privacy layer remains the same, right? The model, the SLM, is on the device. It runs locally on the device. We're not sending any data into the cloud for improved Windows search, unless you go to your OneDrive folder, of course. But then you're still in your protected boundary. So yeah, I don't. What I hear a lot from customers is we're going more into from a local to cloud to a hybrid AI way of thinking, right? And now people start to ask, like, yeah, okay, can you give me exactly the data flows? When is something being offloaded to the cloud? And that is maybe a challenge. That is not always easy to identify, because Click to Do, for example, runs locally on the device for a few things, but for example, the convert table to Excel, screenshots, OCR is being sent into the cloud, it's processed there, and then it's going back to Excel. So it's going to be important for us to identify really the different data flows to make sure that we inform the customers properly on that. And once we did that, I think we're actually in a good shape.
Yeah. Well, you talked about it because it is somehow and sometimes scary for a lot of, at least IT admins who are responsible for compliance, AI. What's your advice for finding that innovation versus control sweet spot, so to say?
I would start with a limited audience, like probably enable Copilot plus PCs or the features first within some focus groups. Yeah. Let them analyze it, let them explore it a little bit, and then collect the feedback and talk like, okay, is this something for the company? Yes or no? If it is something for the company, okay, what happens actually with the data? Is the data remaining on the device? Is the data being sent into the cloud? I think it's an assessment that you need to do based on your organization, based on your organizational need, organizational policies. Some organizations say, we're good. It's enterprise data protection. We trust Microsoft. Other companies are like, yeah, we're not going to trust Microsoft. We need to know black and white the different data flows. So it depends from company to company.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. If we are we're talking on today the technology that we are having today. Luckily, everything is evolving. If we're looking ahead, what is one capability, whether intelligent PCs or content delivery, that you think will become standard in enterprise environments in the next? Yeah, it's 3 or 5 years. That's long.
Yeah, that's too long.
That's maybe too long. In the next year or next 1.5 year, is that content delivery that we are more used to, connected cache? Because what I see in organizations, that's not quite used often for specific use cases. So will it become more and more standard, or is there something?
That's a good question. I think that from the growth we've seen of Connected Cache, the first version of Connected Cache was deployed with Configuration Manager. And I cannot give you numbers, official numbers of the numbers of deployments, but it was used a lot because it's very easy for customers, and it is very useful for them. I think as we move forward, the next version of Connected Cache that we have that you could deploy to PC or server or anywhere, I think it's going to be in the integration with the Intune workflow, so that it's more seamless. Now they're sort of separate, and yes, they work well together. But I think for us, it's really getting to that place where this next version is fully integrated with every enterprise workflow, so that whatever the content need you have, whether it's online or maybe even think in the future, disconnected environments. We have different sovereign clouds, right? Things like that. So just fully integrated into all those workflows so that you don't have to worry about that content delivery need wherever you are.
Yeah. And how is that for intelligent PCs, in your opinion?
Sorry, can you repeat the question?
Yeah.
I was
if you're looking
focusing
completely into nice topic. Looking ahead, what's one capability that you think will become standard?
CUA, computer using agents. I think you will see that landing pretty soon, and like it is actually already available, right? You have an M365 Copilot, you have researcher and analyst and all these agents.
Yeah. Yep.
You can actually now already enable a slider into the settings blade under AI components to enable experimental agentic workflows. And what it will do is it will take that agent out of M365 Copilot and actually see it as a standalone application in Windows, where you will have status updates, notifications, etc. So I think that will become more and more common over the next couple of months, years, probably years, right? Because it will require some time to build all these new things.
Yeah, but on the other hand, if you see how fast these kind of things are evolving,
it's crazy. Yeah, every 3 months it's like exponential.
So we can think of talking about years, and probably it will be months. It could be.
Yeah, it could be potentially, but I think we need to be aware about the quality that we deliver as well. So going fast is one thing, but going fast in a qualitative way is another thing. And I believe that quality should always win from speed. Because otherwise it will fire back like a boomerang, and this is something we want to avoid, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
So I rather take time, make sure that everything is built properly, and then going to the outside world.
Nice.
Speaking of the future, if organizations want to prepare for the future today, what foundational change would each of you recommend they prioritize at this moment?
Wow.
If you look at Microsoft, like the frontier firm, probably all heard the term of the frontier firm. Like we are highly recommended to use AI on a daily basis.
Of course.
And what does a company fundamentally need to change? I don't think they need to change that much fundamentally, because in the end you manage Windows the same way as you manage your previous devices that were non-Copilot plus PCs. Management didn't change, right? They're just an additional policy to enable or disable AI features.
Yeah.
So in that sense, not so much of an impact. And then there are companies and they allow AI. For example, I have a customer and they say, we only allow ChatGPT. Okay, yeah, ChatGPT. You know that the data that you enter in ChatGPT is being used for training purposes, right? Oh, and then they are like, oh, really? So we also see a lot of people that are just unaware, and awareness is going to be the maybe most important thing. We need to make commercial customers aware of what is possible, what is not possible, what happens with the data, how do we look to data privacy, right? Because I mentioned earlier as well, in the M365 or in the Microsoft ecosystem, we do have the enterprise data protection boundaries. If you go to Gemini or to ChatGPT or any other LLM, you're losing that security boundary. So potentially everything you enter there is going to be used to train the models. Yeah. And that is something we don't do. So in that sense as well, I think not so much of an impact. Probably your security team is gonna want to know all the data flows again and what happens with the data, where is it processed, etc. So that's maybe the biggest hurdle we need to overcome. Yeah. Being open and transparent about the different data flows and the processing environments.
Andy.
Now it's my turn to ask.
Yeah.
If you have one or two.
My goodness, how do I follow that? In working with many customers who are moving from this on-prem management apps, I'm hearing about this a lot. I have customers, when they first are coming and learning about DO and MCC, I have 500 applications in my catalog.
Yep.
How many of those applications do you really need, right? So really, this is probably the moment for them to take a really hard look at, okay, well, what do I really need? Because I've been hauling these around for years in my configuration manager, and everything has worked, and I don't have to think about it. Maybe this is the time to think.
Apps, I totally agree. So let's finish up with a more personal question to learn a little bit more personal as well. What's one hobby, guilty pleasure, or unusual talent that you have that most people in the IT world don't know about? Ken?
I do play the piano. Not a lot of people know. A few saw me playing at MEM Summit last year.
He was playing at my house, I remember. Yeah.
I was not there, and even I know it.
Okay, interesting. And apart from that, yeah, snowboarding is something that I really like to do. I'm happy that I could pick that up again after the kids are now coming to an age that we can take them to skiing. So we did that for the first time in December, which was pretty amazing to go with the family. Actually the first time that I didn't look at my phone for a week. Even I beat summer holidays, because summer holidays I always catch up on emails. I didn't do that for a week.
That's good.
So that was really good. So yeah, piano and snowboarding is probably a guilty pleasure. I don't do guilty pleasures.
No. Andy, anything that makes it personal for you?
Golf. I love to play.
Midget?
Golf.
Midget golf? Or
Pardon me?
midget? Mini golf?
Mini golf?
Yeah, we call it midget.
I can play mini golf, but I like to play
The normal
regulation golf, and I love to play tennis too. That's the other thing. So those two things, both in the winter and summer,
Nice.
keep me occupied. And the Seahawks. I'll just say, go Seahawks.
Seahawks,
For the
yeah,
Super
yeah,
Bowl,
yeah.
right? Coming up.
And how are your golf talents, Michel?
Mine? No, mini golf I can do, but the normal golf, no.
No,
That's not mine.
but do you have a unusual talent?
Well, I don't know if that's a talent, but I do a lot of audio stuff, so yeah.
Yeah, if you're looking at the audio stuff that we have in these recordings, that's all. Everything is produced by Michel. So thanks for that. Thanks for joining us.
The same question for you then. Huh?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Do I have talents? No. But you all know that I love to play with this gear that is over here. So the video podcasting. Talking to people, that is one of the key thing that you can learn so much from all the people that I have interviewed in the last few years. So yeah, to make that step, really awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Nice.
Cool. Mooi.
Very nice.
Nice. Thank you for joining us in this recording. So we are more than 30 minutes away in this recording, and I think we need to finish up because tomorrow we will do some other recordings as well at MC2MC Connect. So we have 2 days of recordings with a lot of interesting people. Thanks for joining us. Really awesome that you guys here.
Yeah.
So thank you very much for having me. Appreciate
Absolutely. Yeah, thank you.
And if you're watching this video and want to know more on the key topics, please reach out to one of the guys that we have invited. Nice topics are coming up in the next few recordings. So we have, I think, topics around.
Good question.
Yeah, identity and other stuff. So have a look at our socials for the upcoming recordings. Like and subscribe as always. And with that, I say. Until next time.
Thank you.
This was the Workplace Ninja Connect podcast.
Thanks for tuning in to the Workplace Ninja Connect podcast. Stay curious, stay connected, and keep sharpening your ninja skills. See you next time.